Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to do a follow-up on the Versaclimber. I bought this piece of equipment on the recommendation of a Scottish mountain rescue guy, and we were talking about training in Scotland because I was trying to climb some of the bends, which are the name of the giant hill/mountains that they have. Frankly, they're really annoying to climb because they're basically a 4-hour straight vertical ascent. I mean, they are just nasty sons of bitches. Even the easy ones are pretty gnar. And he said, you know what you need? A Versaclimber. So I bought one. Versaclimber was about $2,500 brand new. When I put it together, I was immediately impressed by this thing because it is built like a tank. It has, if you'll notice, this finish on here, and this is basically like a super durable coating like you would put in the bed of a truck, right, in order to keep it from getting scratched up. And I was like, man, that's pretty excessive. Like, you know, Concept 2 rowers and Concept 2 skiers don't have a finish like this on it. And now I understand why. It's because when you use this thing, you will be sweating buckets. And the sweat pours straight down onto this giant stabilizing beam here, and it's all over these handles, and it just puddles on the ground down here. Because it's salt water, if it was not having this coating on it, this thing would rust. That's how much you sweat on this thing. I could see it just flash rusting on this thing immediately. So all exposed surfaces are covered with this super durable coating. Haven't been able to beat it up at all, and we drag this thing all over the studio every day. Interesting thing, when this thing goes together, these things are counterspun. So both of these handles on either side, both, to unscrew them, turn away. Right, so one's a normal thread and one's a reverse thread. In order to tie them in nice and tight, you roll them all the way back towards you. And there are 3 different holes in here so you can adjust the height to different ranges of motion. I like the mid setting. That's kind of the one that I've been using right now. You can adjust it for smaller people by moving the handles and the feet closer to each other. Haven't really done that all that much yet. The computer leaves a little bit to be desired. I wish it had the same computer as a Concept 2 PM5 on it, because the computers on the PM5s are just amazing and intuitive. This one is a much older computer style. It doesn't seem like it's been updated, but you can just simply pull it up and down in order to adjust it, so that when you are in the machine, you're gonna want this thing right at your eye height. You can do different types of programs and stuff, but the only one I do is just start and count up. The important number is the lower left-hand corner down here, and as you move, that's your vertical feet, right? And stroke length. I get a 20-inch stroke length, so that gives me about 70 steps in order to get to 100 feet. I use this because I can't leave my studio in order to go running, like CrossFit style, like most CrossFit gyms have a big roll-up door, and you can, in the middle of your workout, you drop the weight and you go for a 400-meter run or whatever, right? I find that this is just about equivalent to your meter runs in CrossFit. So if you have a 100-meter run in CrossFit, you can do a 100-foot climb on this. If you're going out to do a 400-meter run, then it's about equivalent. This gets really nasty above 300 feet though. It becomes extremely hard. I probably just haven't had enough adaptation phase yet, because the Scottish guys will do this for an hour nonstop. It still blows my mind. I can't figure out how they're doing it yet. It's gonna take me a couple of years in order to develop that type of mental fortitude. Let's call it mental fortitude. I could just be tougher. This is a fantastic machine. It is worth every penny. It's never gonna go anywhere, and it's always going to be mean. Doing 1,000 feet on this thing is nasty. It's extremely nasty. I haven't gotten above 1,000 feet yet. That's the longest I've done. It took me 6 minutes and 32 seconds or something like that. So the way that I'm using this thing right now is I'm plugging it into high intensity interval training, very much as you would plug it in place of running in a CrossFit workout, right? If you were, say, a CrossFit gym in New York City or someplace like that where you cannot leave the gym and go running because of cars, traffic, and all that other stuff, these are be a good replacement for that. So you could put this in to the gym and then take over that part. Probably a little bit less expensive than, say, one of the new running machines, right? That don't have handles on them and are pretty cool, have the natural foot stroke and all that other stuff. Those things are like $5,000. So I think it's a great piece of equipment, and I highly recommend everybody get one if you have the time and the space for it. Do I think it's the first piece of equipment you should buy? No, I think you should buy an entire suite of kettlebells and clubs before that, because an entire suite of kettlebells and an entire suite of clubs and some sandbags cost less than one of these things. And then after that, you should probably get a rower because they cost $900, right? And after that, you should get a skier because they cost $1,100. Then you can get something like this, which is $2,500, unless you can get it on Craigslist for much, much cheaper. They now have classes. I believe it's called Rise Nation based on this. I'm gonna go to one if I can find one. There's gotta be one here in LA somewhere. Yeah, there's someone here in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah. Melrose. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Melrose and go take one of their classes and see how they're structuring their classes. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. This has been Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica with an update on this Versaclimber situation.